Chewing at any time. In all future calls, press 7. To reject this call, hang up now. You may begin speaking now.
How you doing, Storm?
I'm good, Robert. How you doing?
I'm okay. Is this a good time or?
Oh no, absolutely. You good. For some reason, whenever it calls the first time, it automatically hangs up. It's weird.
Oh, no, it's okay. Yeah, that's why I always call back and do that a lot. But everything is weird these days. But, you know, yesterday, man, I was stressing and just, because I didn't know who you was, first of all. And I was kind of talking in blind at the same time because I didn't know who I was talking to. It's hard to trust people. People take my words, they twist them, and all I'm trying to do is get out the truth.
Yes.
And that's the only reason I continue talking is because even though I'm in the dark and don't know who I'm talking to, my strength comes from because I'm telling the truth, So I was going to say, man, you mean to tell me a BOP disciplinary hearing officer is going to just wake up one day and say, let me just take a chance on my career, losing my career and going to jail, and just access all of my private phone calls?
It doesn't make sense because personally, I wouldn't risk my career like that.
That's my point. Let me just take a chance and just access R. Kelly's records, private records between him and his girlfriend and his attorney 153 times. Let me do it 153 times. Let me scan that to my own personal Gmail, and then let me send that to a blogger, Tasha K, who happens to know my girlfriend Joycelyn's father really good, who happens to know the parents of a government witness in my case. These are not coincidences, man. This is a plan. What plan it is, people have to figure that out for themselves. But it's a plan. Those are too many coincidences. And who's gonna do that? And besides, I'm already going through enough. So I wrote this thing down because I don't want to be scrambling on this phone for my little 15 minutes.
I got you.
And I know my own handwriting, so when people hear me say I wrote this down, I don't want nobody to go, oh, I thought he couldn't write. Well, I can't spell, but I can write. So this is my own handwriting. I said, I'm already going through enough. And the last thing I need is a BOP officer and a blogger illegally stealing and sharing my private phone calls and emails. Between me and my relationship, who just happened to be the government's star witness in my case. They have to stop acting like this didn't happen, or like it's not a big deal, because it's a really big deal. So big that I believe it tainted my case in a lot of ways, which also I believe was the plan, at least when it comes to this BOP officer and Tasha K. Because ask yourself, what other reason would a BOP officer, a disciplinary hearing officer who's like a judge in the prisons, why would they illegally access all of my emails and phone calls? Why? What is the reason to do that? And send that to her own personal Gmail account. Give all of that information to a very influential blogger, Tasha K. Why would Tasha K need to share all of that with government witnesses in my case? Why were they both allowed to get away with it? This happened 4 years ago. This happened around the same time my girl was flipping on me and lying on me. 4 years now, and I nor my attorneys even know who this lady is, this BOP officer. Don't know her name. I don't know if she's white, black. I don't know what. We haven't been told anything. How does she know Tasha K? How did they meet on this planet? How did a disciplinary hearing officer and a blogger meet? Yeah, people will say R. Kelly's just fishing. He's just trying to figure something out to get out of jail. You're damn right, because I'm not supposed to be in here. You don't have to fish, though, with this situation, because there's a search warrant, an affidavit that backs up everything I'm saying. People are just ignoring it. But it exists. It's in the public. It's in the system. It's in black and white that this BOP officer and Tasha K did this. And although the investigation is not fully disclosed, it should be. It was executed by a federal agent. Not R. Kelly, not my attorneys, but by a federal agent. It was signed off by a federal judge who would never sign off on a search warrant unless there was enough probable cause to do so. I don't have to lie on anybody.
This call is from a federal prison.
And I definitely wouldn't be in the BOP, being held by the BOP, detained by the BOP, and on this damn phone lying on the BOP. Besides, it's not that I'm coming against the BOP. I'm coming against this BOP officer. And besides, if I was lying, this phone call would have been disconnected. Okay? It would have been cut off on me. But because I'm telling the truth, it's not. I know I had a very good chance of beating my case. But that chance was stolen from me when this BOP officer decided to illegally steal all my information and share it with government witnesses through Tasha K. And this is according to the OIJ. There was an investigation done, a search warrant done back in 2019, back in 2020, before I even went to court, which means I really shouldn't even went to trial until this investigation was fully investigated. Because now I'm found guilty, and here I am, looking at all of this information that could have helped me in my case. It could have stopped people from being on the stand that was scorned or mad at me because they saw some illegal contraband shown to them by Tasha K. From this BOP officer stealing it. If I'm not making sense, just leave my ass in here. But I know I'm making sense. And all I want is the full disclosure. I want full disclosure on this investigation. I want to know this lady who stole my information and gave it to Tasha K. I want to know why she did it. I want to know how she met Tasha K. I want to know why they did this to me. I want to know who else is involved. Why? Because you're damn right I want to go home, bro. I want to get my life back. Because nobody deserves this. I don't care if you had a traffic ticket. I don't care what kind of case you have. You have the right to prove your innocence without cheating, without people cheating, without people stealing your information and sharing it with witnesses, pissing witnesses off to come against you. A scorned woman, oh my God, will say anything when she's scorned. Will say anything when she's mad because she's seen some emails between you and another woman. championship game. Two NBA championship stars about to play one another. That's a high-profile game, and it's the 7th game. Win or go home. And they pull up in their cars at the stadium, and one gets out with the ref. Well, the other one is going to wonder, what the hell is he getting out with the ref for, out of his car? He's going to think in the door that the game is fixed. If that ref ends up later on after that person, that one guy lost, their team lost, and he finds out that that ref...
This call is from a federal prison.
...sharing illegal information with the other team, and it led them to their victory. He's not going to just be able to retire. He's going to get charged and arrested and investigated further to see who else is involved. So they can make sure it never happens again to not only that team, but any other team in the NBA. What's the difference in this ref and this DOP officer? There is no difference, because why? Law is law. Nobody's supposed to be above it. Not you, not me, not this DOP officer, not Tasha K. Nobody. Not even the ones who wrote the law. And I hope somebody hears me. I know God hears me, because he wouldn't have gave me this to say. I have nothing against law enforcement, the government, nobody. But right is right. You can't paint the game. You can't paint the pros. You can't paint a case. You can't paint it. And I know I'm talking too much and going all, but scrambling, I guess. But God bless these people. But this is not right. It's not justice. And I'm only talking because I feel like I'm buried alive. But the good news is that I'm alive, so I'm kicking. And I don't give a damn who dig me up at this point, because I am literally racing against my health now. I'm just racing against... All right, man, that's it.
Okay.
I wanted to end by saying, real quick on Lifetime, as far as Lifetime is concerned, there are real people, real women out here really being abused, really missing. They're really missing. They're really chained up in basements. I've been in here 4 years. I haven't seen one person that was ever chained up in a basement come forth for anything. But I tell you one thing, before Lifetime came out, I was minding my business. I was in the studio. I was working with celebrities. I had tours. But when Lifetime came out, all of that went away. Meaning, before Lifetime came out, I had no charges pending against me. Nobody had went to a radio station or had went to, a police station. It took a year to put together Lifetime. If all of the things they said I did on Lifetime were true, it only take a minute to go to a police station. But when there's a crime committed, you don't go make a movie on it. You go to the police station. Nobody had done that. There was no feds or cops swarming my house and arresting me. There were no charges brought against me. If all these things, man, they done took me out there worse than Lucifer. Not that person, bro. I don't give a damn what nobody say. I'm not that person. And people who have common sense know that. And they don't have to be my fans. It's people that's not even my fans that knows that. I'm done, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate your ears, nothing else.
Absolutely, absolutely. I appreciate you feeling comfortable enough to speak your truth and tell your side.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't feel comfortable, but I'm
Okay.
kicking. Look,
Okay.
but I'm making it. I don't have but 15 minutes, man. So I was told to give you a call, Levi.
Yeah. He let me know that you we're gonna be calling it to be expecting a call and
Is this a good time to talk, or?
absolutely. And I know we only got 15 minutes, so
Yeah, so I'm gonna get straight to the chase. It's simple.
okay.
2019, I was arrested, of course. And in 2019, during the time I was being detained at the BOP MCC, there was a disciplinary hearing officer that's like a judge in the prison that was accessing my records illegally. And she did it 153 times. She then shared that with a blogger, a YouTube blogger by the name of Tasha K. Tasha K mentioned that she shared all of my information with government witnesses' parents and government witnesses on her podcast. I didn't know anything about this until I was 3 weeks away from my verdict in New York. That Tasha K had shared my information with the government witness in my case in New York.
Wow.
I knew nothing about it until I got to Chicago, and it was in the Sun-Times and in the Tribune that this had happened. And the reason it proved to be true is because they were quoting verbatim everything that Tasha K said that I was saying to my girlfriend on this same phone I'm talking to you on.
You're talking about Azriel, right?
I can't name any names because that's my case.
Okay.
Okay? But you're just going to have to, Storm, kind of like put it together.
Yeah, I got you.
But the only thing I can say is that you're not supposed to do that. Okay? It's okay to have witnesses on stands and cases and all that. No problem. But they're not supposed to be scorned witnesses. They're not supposed to be witnesses that's mad at you because they may have seen some emails and heard some phone calls between you and another woman. That is not how you're supposed to get your witnesses or have your witnesses. And that's what happened to me. And when I found this out, I immediately let my attorneys know, and they checked into it. Come to find out there was actually a search warrant done on the BOP officer. And they call her Officer A. It's 4 years later, and I still don't know who Officer A is. It's 4 years later. Officer A was never arrested. Tasha K was never arrested or faced any kind of charges for witness tampering or computer theft or showing my illegal law enforcement information to witnesses. It's a crime to even access those records.
Yes, it is.
There is a search warrant that exists. I don't know if the public knows about it, but it is public knowledge. See, man, yes, I have a court case in New York. Even though I can't go into that court case or talking about that court case, but those are the facts. There's a search warrant that exists. The search warrant cannot be executed unless a judge signs off on it. So obviously a judge thought that it was enough probable cause to even sign off on the search warrant to be executed on the BOP officer. Now, I don't know Tasha K or whoever. I'm not mad at these people. I just don't think that they understand how the law is supposed to work.
Right.
You can't tamper with witnesses, federal witnesses in a federal case. You can't be showing them contraband and illegal contraband off the system here, my private phone calls or my private emails or information. That you can't do. And those things were done. Because, your girlfriend don't go from...
This call is from a federal prison.
Reporting you in the beginning of your trial. And me being arrested for 6 months straight, and then out of nowhere flip on me within 3 weeks. And all of a sudden want to allow me and say all of this stuff. It just doesn't happen. Somebody you've been with for years. And all of this time I've been trying to figure out why. But when I come back to Chicago after being convicted and sentenced and staring down the barrel of 30 years of my life in a damn bathroom, I found out that my information was being shared with, witnesses. And it was being shared by the Tasha K. So a DOP officer, disciplinary hearing officer, which is a judge in the Bureau of Prisons, how do you even know a YouTube blogger? These questions you have to ask yourself. These questions people have to ask themselves. And I'm not going to lie. I don't have anything bad against the DOP. I don't have anything, I'm not mad or anything or have anything against law enforcement or anything. I just have something against this one individual who accessed illegally my records 153 times. And on that same day, the affidavit said that there were 60 other BOP employees that accessed my records illegally on that same day. So there you have 61 BOP employees that work for federal that illegally access my records, my phone calls, my emails.
All your personal information. And then it gets spread all on the internet.
And the last time, and when you talk to your, just put it like this, when you talk to your female, I'm kind of pausing because I want to make sure that I don't go into my case.
Right,
so
right.
Excuse me for that.
No, you're fine.
But to give you a scenario, if you tell one woman, hey, I'm going to give you the money, you put the money behind the blue couch, and because the other lady is spending the money, and she's not supposed to be spending it because I need that money for lawyers. So you're being more responsible. You take the money, put it behind the blue couch, and don't tell her. Just hold it and use that for emergencies or if I need anything or pay bills or whatever. The other woman is not supposed to know the very next day where that money is.
Right.
I'm not supposed to get a call, which I did from my girl saying they took the money, they left a note saying F you and F him, I'm going to do what I have to do. These things is happening. These things happening in 2019, and then I get another visit from the woman who took the money, and she tells me, since when did you start giving her the money, and why did you tell her to put it behind the couch and not tell me? Don't lie to me. I heard the phone call. So in 2019, I'm trying to figure out how the hell did she hear that phone call? In 2019, I'm trying to figure out why would she tell me in the last visit that, and since when did you start calling her Cookie? By nickname on email. I'm trying to figure out how the hell did she know I call her Cookie? She say, don't lie to me. I fucking saw the emails. Excuse my language. I saw the fucking emails. That's what she said. And why would you tell your lawyer that you're not leaving her for me? Well, I did actually have that conversation with my lawyer. And now I'm trying to figure out how the hell she hear this. She say, I don't give a fuck. I know your voice. You cannot fucking lie to me. I know your voice. Well, I wasn't debating whether she knew my voice or not. I was in my mind trying to figure out in 2019, how did she know?
Yeah.
Well, in 2019, a BOP disciplinary hearing officer was illegally accessing my phone calls, my emails, and sharing them with Tasha K. Tasha K said it on her own podcast, on platforms, that she was sharing that information with government witnesses, Terrence, while one of the government witnesses was sitting there with Tasha K on the internet. There's a picture of it. It's a go figure, Storm, man. And that's not how witnesses are supposed to be on the stand. They're not supposed to be up there mad, scorned, because they saw some emails between a man and another woman or things like that. Because now they have the room to lie and get mad and say whatever the hell they want to say in the midst of their anger. However, it's not supposed to happen. It's illegal, but no one was arrested. 153 times, 153 counts. No one was arrested.
This call is from a federal prison.
To this day, and it's been 4 years. I don't even know where the investigation even went, because I was told that in the paper, John Lodge had mentioned that it did happen, indeed, and it was an ongoing investigation. Well, it's been 4 years, man. And me nor my attorneys know where the investigation went, what happened. Because if this, which it did, it happened, it actually happened, because the search warrant says it. I have the search warrant. My lawyers have the search warrant. You can look it up yourself. And people will see for themselves that this happened. So.
Wow.
1 second, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
And it just makes you wonder, who allowed this person to just retire after it was done? Why was there no arrest made? Why was there no charges brought? Why no consequences? And in my heart, I just believe that, if you just retire, it just disappears. If you're arrested, then it becomes a court case. Then it becomes public. Then it opens up whatever it opens up. But
so that would explain why that officer just said, "Forget it. I'm gonna just go about my business." Okay.
Well, it explains that,
But
but it don't explain who gave you the authority, who gave you the authorization to just go about your business.
That part.
If you pull a person over and they were speeding and the police pull them over and they crash their car and hurt somebody, it's up to the police to give them the authorization to just keep it moving and don't arrest them. So if she did just go about her business, it's like, why would she get to just go about her business, or why would she just get to retire? And I'm not trying to throw nobody under a bus or have people arrested and ruin their life. I just feel like I'm buried alive in a casket. So I'm kicking, don't give a damn what's going on. All I know is that this is wrong. It's illegal. And it's not the way court cases are supposed to go. And if there's and if my records and stuff can be illegally hacked into or stolen and shared, then who else are they doing this to? How many people is this happening to?
You're right.
We got one more minute, man. If you want, I can call back at some point today or tomorrow and wrap it up and tell you.
No, definitely. You're definitely free to. I want to just, first of all, thank you for calling, and I really do appreciate it. And is there any last thing you want to say? Just
yeah. People are gonna say, some people that's hating, or I don't know if it's Tasha K. I have nothing against her. This is about my life, trying to get my life back in the right way, in the legal way. I don't have to lie on anybody. I'm not gonna lie on the BOP. As a matter of fact, they wouldn't even allow me to be on this phone if I was on this phone lying. Okay, so whatever people come to you and say or try to combat what I'm saying, there's a search warrant. You cannot go against a judge and a search warrant. The search warrant says and backs up everything I've told you. I got 10 seconds. I appreciate this phone call. Appreciate you listening, man. And, and I hope you're on the right side of history. I appreciate it.
Thank you. You take care.
But I'm making it. I don't have but 15 minutes, man. So I was told to give you a call.
Absolutely. And I know we only got 15 minutes, so.
Yeah, so I'm going to get straight to the chase. It's simple.
Okay.
2019, I was arrested, of course. And in 2019, during the time I was being detained at the BOP MCC, there was a disciplinary hearing officer that's like a judge in the prison that was accessing my records illegally. And she did it 153 times. She then shared that with a blogger, a YouTube blogger by the name of Tasha K. Tasha K mentioned that she shared all of my information with government witnesses' parents and government witnesses on her podcast. I didn't know anything about this until I was 3 weeks away from my verdict in New York. That Tasha K had shared my information with the government witness in my case in New York.
Wow.
I knew nothing about it until I got to Chicago, and it was in the Sun-Times and in the Tribune that this had happened. And the reason it proved to be true is because they were quoting verbatim everything that Tasha K said that I was saying to my girlfriend on this same phone I'm talking to you on.
You're talking about Azriel, right?
I can't name any names because that's my case.
Okay.
Okay. But you're just going to have to, Storm, kind of like put it together.
Yeah, I got you.
But the only thing I can say is that you're not supposed to do that. Okay? It's okay to have witnesses on stands and cases and all of that. No problem. But they're not supposed to be scorned witnesses. They're not supposed to be witnesses that's mad at you because they may have seen some emails and heard some phone calls between you and another woman. That is not how you're supposed to get your witnesses or have your witnesses. And that's what happened to me. And when I found this out, I immediately let my attorneys know, and they checked into it. Come to find out there was actually a search warrant done on the BOP officer. And they call her Officer A. It's 4 years later, and I still don't know who Officer A is. It's 4 years later. Officer A was never arrested. Tasha K was never arrested or faced any kind of charges for witness tampering or computer theft or showing my illegal law enforcement information to witnesses. It's a crime to even access those records.
Yes, it is.
There's a search warrant that exists. I don't know if the public knows about it, but it is public knowledge. See, man, yes, I have a court case in New York. Even though I can't go into that court case or talking about that court case, but those are the facts. There's a search warrant that exists. The search warrant cannot be executed unless a judge signs off on it. So obviously a judge thought that it was enough probable cause to even sign off on the search warrant to be executed on the BOP officer. Now, I don't know Tasha K or whoever. I'm not mad at these people. I just don't think that they understand how the law is supposed to work.
Right.
You can't tamper with witnesses, federal witnesses in a federal case. You can't be showing them contraband and illegal contraband off the system here. My private phone calls or my private emails or information. That you can't do. And those things were done. Because Your girlfriend don't go from.
This call is from a federal prison.
Reporting you in the beginning of your trial. And me being arrested for 6 months straight, and then out of nowhere flip on me within 3 weeks. And all of a sudden want to allow me and say all of this stuff. It just doesn't happen. Somebody you've been with for years. And all of this time I've been trying to figure out why. But when I come back to Chicago after being convicted and sentenced and staring down the barrel of 30 years of my life in a damn bathroom, I found out that my information was being shared with, witnesses. And it was being shared by the Tasha K. So a BOP officer, disciplinary hearing officer, which is a judge in the Bureau of Prisons, how do you even know a YouTube blogger? These questions you have to ask yourself. These questions people have to ask themselves. And I'm not going to lie. I don't have anything bad against the BOP. I don't have anything, I'm not mad or anything or have anything against law enforcement or anything. I just have something against this one individual who accessed illegally my records 153 times. And on that same day, the affidavit said that there were 60 other BOP employees that accessed my records illegally on that same day. So there you have 61 BOP employees that work for federal that illegally access my records, my phone calls, my emails. And the last time, and when you talk to your, just put it like this, when you talk to your female, I'm kind of pausing because I want to make sure that I don't go into my case.
Right.
Excuse me for that.
No, you're fine.
But to give you a scenario, if you tell one woman, hey, I'm going to give you the money, you put the money behind the blue couch, and because the other lady is spending the money, and she's not supposed to be spending it because I need that money for lawyers. So you're being more responsible. You take the money, put it behind the blue couch, and don't tell her. Just hold it and use that for emergencies or if I need anything or pay bills or whatever. The other woman is not supposed to know the very next day where that money is.
Right.
I'm not supposed to get a call, which I did from my girl saying they took the money, they left a note saying F you and F him, I'm going to do what I have to do. These things is happening. These things happening in 2019, and then I get another visit from the woman who took the money, and she tells me, since when did you start giving her the money, and why did you tell her to put it behind the couch and not tell me? Don't lie to me. I heard the phone call. So in 2019, I'm trying to figure out how the hell did she hear that phone call? In 2019, I'm trying to figure out why would she tell me in the last visit that, and since when did you start calling her Cookie? By nickname on email. I'm trying to figure out how the hell did she know I call her Cookie? She say, don't lie to me. I fucking saw the emails. Excuse my language. I saw the fucking emails. That's what she said. And why would you tell your lawyer that you're not leaving her for me? Well, I did actually have that conversation with my lawyer. And now I'm trying to figure out how the hell she hear this. She say, I don't give a fuck. I know your voice. You cannot fucking lie to me. I know your voice. Well, I wasn't debating whether she knew my voice or not. I was in my mind trying to figure out, in 2019, how did she know?
Yeah.
Well, in 2019, a BOP disciplinary hearing officer was illegally accessing my phone calls, my emails, and sharing them with Tasha K. Tasha K said it on her own podcast, on platforms, that she's sharing that information with government witnesses' parents. While one of the government witnesses was sitting there with Tasha K on the internet, there's a picture of it. It's a go figure, Storm, man. And that's not how witnesses are supposed to be on the stand. They're not supposed to be up there mad, scorned, because they saw some emails between a man and another woman or things like that. Because now they have the room to lie and get mad and say whatever the hell they want to say in the midst of their anger. However, it's not supposed to happen. It's illegal, but no one was arrested. 153 times, 153 counts. No one was arrested.
This call is from a federal prison.
To this day, and it's been 4 years. I don't even know where the investigation even went, because I was told that in the paper, John Lodge had mentioned that it did happen, indeed, and it was an ongoing investigation. Well, it's been 4 years, man. And me nor my attorneys know where the investigation went, what happened. Because if this, which it did, it happened, it actually happened, because the search warrant says it. I have the search warrant. My lawyers have the search warrant. You can look it up yourself. And people will see for themselves that this happened. So.
Wow.
1 second, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
And it just makes you wonder, who allowed this person to just retire after it was done? Why was there no arrest made? Why was there no charges brought? Why no consequences? And in my heart, I just believe that, if you just retire, it just disappears. If you're arrested, then it becomes a court case. Then it becomes public. Then it opens up whatever it opens up. But
okay.
Well, it explains that,
What's
but it don't explain who gave you the authority, who gave you the authorization to just go about your business.
That part.
If you pull a person over and they were speeding and the police pull them over and they crash their car and hurt somebody, it's up to the police to give them the authorization to just keep it moving and don't arrest them. So if she did just go about her business, it's like, why would she get to just go about her business, or why would she just get to retire? And I'm not trying to throw nobody under a bus or have people arrested and ruin their life. I just feel like I'm buried alive in a casket. So I'm kicking, don't give a damn what's going on. All I know is that this is wrong. It's illegal. And it's not the way court cases are supposed to go. And if there's and if my records and stuff can be illegally hacked into or stolen and shared, then who else are they doing this to? How many people is this happening to? One more minute, man. If you want, I can call back at some point today or tomorrow and wrap it up and tell you. Yeah. People are going to say, some people that's hating, or I don't know if it's Tasha K, I have nothing against her. This is about my life, trying to get my life back in the right way, in the legal way. I don't have to lie on anybody. I'm not going to lie on the DOP. As a matter of fact, they wouldn't even allow me to be on this phone if I was on this phone lying. Okay, so whatever people come to you and say or try to combat what I'm saying, there's a search warrant. You cannot go against a judge on a search warrant. The search warrant says and backs up everything I've told you. I got 10 seconds. I appreciate this phone call. Appreciate you listening, man. And, and I hope you're on the right side of history.
It's a storm show. Ay, it's a storm show.
From
Robert Kelly.
this call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. To accept this call, press 5. To block this call, you may begin speaking now.
Doing Storm.
I'm good, Robert. How you doing? Happy belated, by the way.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. So yeah, I ain't had much time, but here it is. my cousin who's really close to me out there, and he's been around since like 20. Well, no, actually, 2001. I've been knowing him since. Very good guy, cool guy. I call him my cousin. His name is Levi. Now, I don't want everybody that's supporting me out there on the internet to start going, hey, well, I'm supporting you too. Everybody is supporting me. Those that love me and those that believe in me and those that believe in what I've said about the BOP officer and everything and taking my records and everything. But Levi's one of the guys that I've been talking to. I've been talking to Sharon Winbush. I've been talking to a lot of people here and there when I get a chance. And they're all trying to help me.
Okay.
Because they know what's right. But the problem is that once somebody else helped me and I speak out about that, it seems to be a fight over who's helping me. But it's not about the fight of who's helping me. It's about the illegal thing that has happened concerning me. That's the more focus I want everybody to be focused on. And Levi happens to be one of the guys that knows everything as well.
Oh yeah, and he's doing his homework for sure.
Yeah, he's doing his homework, he's doing his paperwork, and he can break down what's going on. But see, I'm caught up in such a political type of thing that it's like me saying that Levi is going to break it down, and that's what I want him to do, break it down to you, because I only have 15 minutes.
Right.
I can't break this whole thing down, man. And plus I don't know law like my lawyer know law or anything like that, but I know people got enough common sense that when I say what I say, if they go look at it themselves, they'll say, well, damn, he was right. There is a search warrant on this thing. This thing really did happen. His records really was stolen. That really does interrupt a case and any other case, which is why they tell you not to steal the information and share it with witnesses. That's the whole point.
Yeah, it's illegal. Yeah, you should not do that. That is illegal. Yes.
Yeah, so if you break those rules and you know those rules and you're a professional officer that works for the government and you're supposed to follow those rules, or else what is the point? So Levi can break it down, and if anybody else want to break it down, they can break it down too. The more the merrier. I don't care if a roach came by with a sign saying he has some proof and can break my case down of how I was treated as far as this BOP officer is concerned. I will accept that roach.
I hear you. I hear you.
That roach will be telling the truth.
Yeah, you're trying to get your message out, and you definitely been getting the attention. People are looking and searching for sure.
Yeah, man, because I'm in a casket kicking. That's what I was trying to tell you the last conversation. I'm in a casket kicking. I'm like, but the good thing is I'm alive, but I don't care who buried me. I don't care who dig me out. I don't give a damn. Would you?
No, I wouldn't. I would be doing whatever I had to do to get out of there. Absolutely.
You damn right, because your breath is getting a little shorter every moment that you're in there, especially if you know that you was cheated into that casket.
And I think also people should know, just because that officer retired does not mean she can't be held liable still.
That's my point. And then when you show that the retirement was convenient, it wasn't just, I'm tired, I'm old. She's not old. So everything seems to be, more of a looking like a setup rather than a legitimate. You can't steal records legitimately.
And I'll say this too. I looked up the articles on it from 2019, and it actually says she quickly retired.
Yeah, she quickly retired. But you gotta ask yourself, retirement doesn't mean your charges go away. An indictment go away. You still have to look at, okay, you retired, just like you would look at a coach that has to retire if he was sharing information between teams. You got to look at that and say, okay, you can retire, you can resign all you want, but these charges are going to knock you upside your head, because we have proof that you did this, and you still have to face these charges just like any other citizen, just like anybody.
That is true. That is true.
I mean, if you accuse R. Kelly or something, then you charge him or whatever. It's got to be right. If I'm convicted, it's got to be right and by the law.
You're right, because and I've said it before, no matter how people may feel, you are entitled to due process. And so if something affected that, it does need to be brought up.
Right, so I want people to listen to, my cousin Levi. I want them to listen to him and just break it down. If he's saying something that's wrong, call him out on it. But I also want people to listen to that roach, if it was to come, and tell them something that makes a lot of damn sense.
I hear you.
Or call that roach out. But what I don't want is people feuding and fighting over who's going to be the one to dig R. Kelly out. This is not what this is about. This is about law. This is about legal and illegal. That's all this is about. And that's what I want people to pay attention to. I don't want them to, sweat me off just because my music. No, I want you to look at the law. Was I rightfully? You can't. This DOP officer, man, has blown me. I'm just being real, man. Because I'm in here having nightmares thinking about what the hell. And I'm looking at all of this stuff. I've taken medicines, different medicines for my anxiety. But let's be real, man. There is no medicine in this entire world that can cure corruption.
Ooh.
This call is from a federal prison.
No medicine. And this is what this is looking like as the seconds go by. And that's only because no one was charged. People got to retire. Tasha K went on with her life.
You're right.
And still continuing to lie. It's got to come to a point where people got to come forth and say, look, yeah, I did this, I did that. I shared this with her. It's already out there. I've seen it myself. Fans have sent it to me.
Yeah.
Looking at pictures with Tasha K and star witnesses sitting right there with her.
And the videos are out there. Now, I will say, I remember Tasha K also made a video maybe this year or last year saying, I think R. Kelly may be innocent. So she's kind of went back. I don't know where she is now, though, on it. I don't know.
Yeah, but see, that's another thing. You can't, you're either going to get in the pool and swim or you're not. If not, what is the point? It's like, and I just really want people to know, I appreciate anybody that's helping me. I appreciate anybody that's helping me. A lot of people have been there for me. I just don't want people going back and forth, being mad at each other because one person did this for me and another person did that for me. That's what the devil wants. He wants to cause confusion. That's what these people want. They want to cause confusion. And confusion ain't gonna do nothing but keep me in here. But the real thing is by this DOP officer doing what she did, and there being truth right in your face. You can't deny that. That has to be answered. There's a lot of questions going unanswered, and there shouldn't be.
And that's what we're gonna break down bit by bit. But I hear you when you say the first thing we need to figure out is who is this lady and where is she?
And I can't do that from a wall in a bathroom. I can't do it. But I can certainly speak on it because it happened to me. And if it happened to me, then I have a right to know who this lady is that stole all of my information and shared it with a damn blogger. Bloggers become bloggers and big time bloggers like Tasha K by sharing information.
That is true.
Especially celebrity information.
Right.
So this DOP officer knew damn well what she was doing when she gave it to Tasha. She knew what she was going to do with it. And if she didn't know, she still knew the capabilities, the possibilities of what she could do with it, it being my R. Kelly's information. And she gave it to her regardless.
Well, of course. And she was a fan of Tasha's as well. And she watched the show and, she decided to do that. For whatever reason, she decided to do that. But she was a fan of hers as well. And 15, 20,000 people watching live heard that.
But when you pull up the information, there's no reason. She don't have a reason. She's not allowed a reason. She doesn't get a license to do it. No one is above the law. Even the ones who wrote it. So if she did, when she did that, she knew exactly what she was doing, and I'm curious as to why was she so comfortable? Why was she so comfortable to do something like that?
You know what? That is a good question, because when you work behind the bars, everything you do in the computer is tracked. Everything.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, so when you did that and you shared that information, you knew what Tasha K was going to do with it.
Right.
She did it anyway. She gave Tasha K that information. Tasha K went forth and showed it to government witnesses, you know, and she even said that. I'm only quoting what I've heard and what I've seen for myself, that Tasha K said this out of her own mouth. That she shared it with government witnesses and their parents. I mean, come on. I mean, a baby can figure that out. That's just not supposed to be. It's just not right. It's not justice. And if it is justice, then everybody in behind bars is in trouble, because that means it's okay for a person that works for the BOP. And people may say, well, yeah, that's the BOP. They ain't got nothing to do with the government or whatever. But I tell you what, if you go in McDonald's and you order a burger and you get into it with the person because they didn't give you what you wanted on your burger, and that person that works at McDonald's jump over that doggone desk and beat you in your head and knock you out, you're not going to sue that person. You're going to sue McDonald's, because that person works for McDonald's.
Yeah, they're a representative of the company.
They're going to sue the employee.
Yeah.
They're going to sue the people that employed the employee.
Good point.
If I just made sense. I'm just saying, I'm scrambling, but I'm just saying, bro, what's the difference in that corporation and this corporation? I just want answers. I just want them to show me both hands, because somebody got one hand behind their damn back. And it's obvious to those who can see. I know it's a lot of people that don't approve of me or got bad blood when it comes to me or hate on me or whatever they want to do. That's fine. God bless them. I love them anyway. But right now, I'm fighting for my very life. I'm fighting to breathe. I'm fighting to get back to my kids. I'm fighting to get back to my fans. I'm fighting back to get to that studio and that stage. And I pray to God that somebody hears me. Not only hear me, but believe me. And not only believe me, but look for themselves. I'm not asking them to just believe Robert, but just look at it yourself. It's out there. It's in your face. It's not even being hidden. And if this is my news, so be it.
This call is from a federal...
It's a storm show. Ay, it's a storm show.
You may begin speaking now.
Doing, man.
I'm good, Robert. How you doing?
I'm okay. My phone has been off ever since the sentence, and our phones here have been off, and emails and stuff. So really couldn't reach out.
That's okay. I kind of figured that.
Yeah.
I kind of figured that. So
go.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, you can talk now. We can talk, or what?
Oh no, you good. Yes, sir. You good?
Okay. So yeah, man, that's I know we've talked about this BOP officer a lot, and it's the only thing that's on my mind. It's the only thing I can talk about, because those laws being broken, I feel changed the course of my trial, and look where that got me. So there's nothing else to talk about when you're caged up, and you're looking at the key on the outside of the door as to what you feel and your opinion got you in that cage. No matter what nobody say, the laws were broken, and those laws that were broken by the law should be investigated.
That is true.
And any law, no matter who it is, any law that was broken should be investigated. That's the way the law works.
So that's why I was urging them to write the U.S. Department of Justice, Office of the Inspector General. And I'm giving that address, which is 950 Pennsylvania Avenue, NW, Washington, D.C., 20530. And I'm also asking people to go to a link that a supporter set up for me. It's called justicerkelly.weebly.com. And if people go to that, the things they're going to see is already public. It's out there, So, and people can see for themselves. And I wrote something that I was going to read here. Because I know people, they try to make it like this is not a big deal. It's a very huge deal. It's not something that I'm making up. I don't have to lie on them like they did on me. I don't have to create a conspiracy about them like they did me, or continuously feed the public with false narratives about them like they did me. They did all these things just to secure a conviction in my case because they knew that there was no there actually there. But what this federal BOP officer, A, did, illegally obtaining all of my federal restricted law enforcement information, recorded phone calls, emails of mine, were real crimes. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's not nothing that's made up. There's a search warrant that backs that.
This call is from a federal prison.
Her scanning all of my restricted information and sending it to her own personal Gmail account is a real crime, a federal crime. And a BOP officer A giving that to an internet blogger, Tasha K, all of my federal restricted law enforcement information is a huge federal crime. Tasha K has over 1 million followers, or however many followers she has, but I know she is very influential. She made a lot of money after illegally receiving, then illegally sharing all of my federal restricted phone calls, recordings, and emails, given to her by the BOP officer A. Tasha K shared federal information with the public, and she also stated out of her own mouth that she shared it with the parents of government witnesses in my New York case. Tasha K made these statements on her social media platforms. She did it while she was sipping huge glasses of wine, making money while she was doing it. Who gets to make money from sharing federal restricted law enforcement information? Not only that, but who gets to just sit back on their media platform, drinking huge glasses of wine, tell the whole entire world that they received federal restricted information and shared it with federal government witnesses? Who gets to do that? Who gets to steal federal restricted information of any inmate, send it to their own personal account, give it to a famous internet blogger, for that blogger to share it with the public and government witnesses prior to that inmate's high-profile case? Who gets to commit all of these federal crimes and just get away with it? Who? How? Why? My girlfriend was responsible for 90% of my New York case. But the problem was she was still loving and supporting me. They needed her to be mad at me, hate me, become scorned. They can get her to say anything they wanted her to say about me. So the BOP officer A spent 6 months illegally accessing my restricted recorded phone calls and all of my personal emails, etc., scanning it to her own Gmail account so that she could give it to the blogger Tasha K. And Tasha K, who stated herself that she shared it with my girlfriend, her family. Now, those restricted phone calls and emails, they contain 6 months of me talking to my other girlfriend that I was living with.
This call is from a federal prison.
And once the BOP Officer A gave those conversations to the blogger Tasha K, and Tasha K shared them with my girlfriend, is when they were able to get her to the point of leaving, coming at 90% star witness. They needed her to become. And that plus a little restitution money to help boost the incentive for lying on me was all it took. These are the things that this BOP officer caused. The actions of that BOP officer A could happen to anybody's loved ones in jail while they are trying to defend themselves. So for me to shed light is very important, crucial. So it's okay to repost that link and contact to help spread the word about what happened to me. The BOP Officer A, blogger Tasha K, and what they have done to me is wrong. It's illegal. I feel that I deserve the outcome of that investigation. And I will be sending letters to the Department of Justice myself as well, because this is wrong. This is illegal. And it changed the course of my whole trial. Now, people ask, what did it do to me? How has it impacted my case? In a major way, because the bottom line is the law is not supposed to break the law to get a conviction on me or anyone by stealing federal information, phone calls, and emails. What has this done to me? It has made me feel like my attorneys, my constitutional rights, my due process, me being an American citizen or just a human being doesn't even matter at all. Because all of those rights were mine, but all of those rights were stolen from me and violated on every level by the same law I was up against fighting for my life. With that level of corruption going on prior to my trial, during my trial, I never had a chance. People say, what do I want people to do? It's not really about what I want people to do, because I'm not trying to rally up people or anything like that. I want the law to do something about it, because that's where these federal crimes that were committed against me started. Now, of course, I want people to know, be aware of it, because it's something that needs to be addressed, something that needs to be fixed, because it happened to me and it can happen to anyone. But I would like for the DOJ to do a full investigation on the BOP Officer A, famous internet blogger Tasha K, concerning the illegal accessing and sharing of all of my private, restricted law enforcement information that ultimately resulted in the devastating outcome of my New York trial. I'm asking the DOJ to do this investigation because they are well aware of what the BOP officer A and Blogger Tasha K has done, their crimes they committed. And all I'm asking is for the DOJ to do a full investigation, transparent investigation on those crimes, just like they do on people that doesn't work for them, that doesn't work for the government. All I'm asking, and that's all I would want people to ask, because it's public knowledge that John Louch Jr., who is the head prosecutor of the Northern District, stated himself to the public in the Sun-Times paper that, in fact, BOP Officer A had illegally accessed restricted law enforcement information, and she did it 153 times, and there was no charges brought. But he said there was an ongoing investigation. Since John Louch stated that to the public, is why I feel the public, like myself and my attorneys, deserved the outcome of that investigation. Which is why I'm urging people to write letters to the Department of Justice. The governing, because the Department of Justice is the governing body of our laws, and if the Bureau of Prisons is not safe when it comes to our federal restricted law enforcement information, then no one can trust the outcome of their trials. Good.
Okay.
I apologize for the reading, but I'm the only one that can do this. I'm going off of my own handwriting, so but these are the things that's on my mind. These are the things I need to get out there, and these are the things I need people to do. Pay it. And the last thing I want to say is I want people to stop bickering at each other. Bloggers that's helping me, bloggers that support me, to stop bickering at each other and focus on what's really going on. Focus on this BOP situation, because this is, to me, in my opinion, and from the evidence that I have on a search warrant, is 99% of what is going on here, and it's wrong, and it needs to be addressed. And that's why I want people to stop focusing on going at each other's heads and at each other's throat over who's doing this. I can't call everybody. I can't talk to everybody. I don't have that luxury on the phone, that time to do that. But I just want to focus on that, and I want people to focus on that. That's it. I'll try to call you back, Storm, okay?
Okay. Sounds good.
Thanks, man.
All right now. All right.
It's a storm show. Ay, it's a storm show.
Internet, but we're investigating. So I was like, to my lawyers, like, are they gonna stop the trial? I mean, what was leaked? I don't know. What if it was client attorney privilege or whatever you call that? I don't know if I said it right. But anyway, what if it was that? And they said, well, if it was, then it would be a whole nother trial, or the trial could get dismissed if they leaked that kind of information. I said, well, what if I get found guilty and then we find out that that was the case? It'd kind of be too late, wouldn't it?
Right, right.
But they didn't have answers for that.
Dang. So they just kind of basically just left it up in the air.
Yeah, but they said, but the judge is not stopping the trial because, trial is going, but they will be investigating it. But the problem is that if you say you're going to investigate it, this was in 2021, then here it is 2023. Why don't I have the conclusion of the investigation, and why am I not able to get that? And why is my lawyer telling me that They're not sharing it with us. So that's the problem I'm having as well. Look, man, there's a whole lot of strange things and questions around this. I know this, Thorpe. I wrote a little something out. So
Okay.
It's going to take me a minute because it's hard to read my own handwriting, but I know what I was trying to say.
Okay.
So I said, I know Tasha K is out there saying she didn't pay or ask for the BOP information. But here's the thing. She said out of her own mouth that she shared it with, she said,
This call is from a federal prison.
about that. She said out of her own mouth that she shared my private restricted law enforcement information with government witness, key witness in my case. Now, just for a second, let's talk about restricted. Restricted means restricted. That means you don't tamper with it, you don't mess with it, you don't leak it out, you don't share it.
Right.
Just like a restricted area, you don't go in it.
And if you do, there's consequences. Yeah.
Huh?
I said, and if you do, there's consequences.
Yeah, it's laws in place that you know, suffer those consequences with it. Yeah. And let's now just for a second, let's talk about key witnesses. A key witness in any trial is supposed to be a witness the prosecutor is banking on making their case strong. The key witness is the witness the prosecutor is depending on to bring the smoking gun testimony in their case. This key witness is the one who the prosecutor is looking to win the jury over in their case. This is why they're called key witnesses, like the star of the show, you know. So in my case, Tasha K decided to just break federal law and share all of my restricted information that she got from a BOP disciplinary hearing officer with the prosecutor's key witness. And they both got away with it, man. This is not just my problem, bro. This is like, to me, this is like because if it happened to me and they got away with it, then that means it can happen to anybody in America.
Absolutely.
Law is law.
Yeah.
Law is law. Well, the whole concept loses its value. I'm just being real. It's not just about R. Kelly. It's not just about, well, it is about me because I'm the one talking about it, but I'm not supposed to find out 3 weeks before a verdict that, oh, by the way, somebody leaked your information. Well, first of all, the search warrant was done in 2019 or 2020. It was reported in 2019, which means everybody that it was reported to knew about it, including prosecutors. Everybody knew about it. It's not going to get reported to just one person, like DOJ, or it's not going to get just reported to Internal Affairs or just BOP. Once the BOP got it, Internal Affairs got it, and DOJ got it, prosecutors got it. So this means everybody knew about it in 2019. I wasn't informed until 2021, 3 weeks before my verdict, which I feel in my heart that I should even went to trial until this was a full investigation because of what happened. That people can say, yeah, well, that had nothing to do with us. That's the BOP. No, it's all law. It's all connected. Because I have a federal case, but I'm being held at the BOP. So these are the things that keeps me up all night. That's worrying me and bothering me because there are questions unanswered and they're continuing to go unanswered. And now here it is, 2023, and I still don't have a full closing of the investigation. What happened? If a BOP officer was investigated, found that she was doing criminal activity with Tasha K, then how come Tasha K wasn't investigated? Or was she?
Those are things you want. Those are things you want to know.
Huh?
I said those are things that you want to know.
Exactly. This happened to me.
This call is from a federal prison.
Look, ma'am, my private information, restricted information, is just as important as any other information when it comes to the courts. You know, my investigation, the things that happened to me, is just important as the investigation they did on me. This is me. I'm a human being too. I have rights as well. If something is done against me in here, if I have rights to that. I have rights to say, hey, look, these crimes was committed against me. What are you guys doing about it? And I can't have a crime committed against me in here, and then a full investigation is done, and then you don't disclose it to me or let me know what happened. I mean, John Louse Jr. made an announcement in the paper, the Sun Times, agreeing that BOP officer A, which is what he called her, illegally, accessed my records, my email, my phone calls. Not only that, she did it 153 times within a 6-month period back in 2019. This is when all my stuff was being leaked. This is when my girlfriend came to the visit me, and she was very pissed off at me because she said she had read my emails to somebody else. She said she knew about me putting money behind the couch and all of this stuff. She was very, very mad. Embarrassed me down there in the visiting room.
Wow.
But anyway, she left, and that was the last I seen of her. And the next thing you know, she turned on me.
And that's how their relationship ended. Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying, and that's how that relationship ended. Okay.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was out of nowhere because she was actually visiting me for the 6 months I had been incarcerated. And sending letters, pictures, and, the whole nine, and love and the whole nine. Emails, beautiful emails and the whole nine. But out of nowhere, it just like water turned off. And it was like weird. And I had known her for almost 5 years. So, and then here it is, 2021. I found out about the BOP situation, and I started finding out this, that, and the other. Next thing you know, there's a search warrant. And it showed. I was like, no wonder she was mad at me that day. No wonder she knew how what I said on emails to my other girl. No wonder she knew money was behind the couch. No wonder she heard my conversation between my attorney. And I heard you tell your attorney that you're not leaving her for me and this, that, and the other. I mean, it was a lot of stuff going on in that visit. I'm like, well, in the back of my head, I'm like, how the hell she know all this stuff?
You didn't even know how to answer that. It was coming at you so fast.
No, and I didn't want to argue. I was in the visiting room.
Yeah.
I was trying to keep everything calm, but now I know.
Yeah.
This BOP disciplinary hearing officer gave all our information to Tasha K. Tasha K said it out of her own mouth boldly on her wine and dine with Tasha K that I shared it with government witness. So it doesn't really matter if she found the information on a porch, got it out of her back pocket, found it on the streets. She knew damn well she wasn't supposed to share it. That restricted information with government witness. She could have said to herself, you know what? This is a high-profile case. I got this information, but I'm not going to share this because that would be witness tampering. I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to do that. Whether she got it for free, bought it, it doesn't matter. I just don't want her to be trying to spin people and get their minds off of what really matters. What matters is you shared it. And there's a search warrant that talks about it. You even talked about it.
Now, where can we find this search warrant for the people that want to look it up too? The BOP website?
Yeah, I mean, it's out there. The Sun Times. You read the Sun Times from 2021. You can look it up. You know, there's an affidavit, a search warrant. It's a seizure. It's a seizure search warrant.
Okay.
For BOP Officer A. They don't disclose her name, but I have a copy of it. My lawyer have a copy of it. There's, it's out there.
Oh, I see it right here. The Chicago Sun-Times. Yes, sir. See it right here.
Yeah, so this search warrant is why it's on black and white. It's not like I'm making this up. I can't do a search. I couldn't even write out a search warrant. I'm going off of what Matt Lou, which is the private federal agent on the case, he the one executed the search warrant. He talks about in the search warrant what he found. He talks about not disclosing everything in the search warrant. Well, we want everything, right? You want everything. Not just a little bit, but there's enough in there to show you that these things, and Tasha K name is all over this search warrant. What is Tasha K name being all over a disciplinary hearing officer's search warrant? So it makes you want to know, well, did they do a search warrant on Tasha K's computer?
Wow.
And find things they didn't want to find, and then now the whole thing just disappeared. People were retiring, people stepping down. I don't know. But that's my time, bro, and I could probably call you in a couple of days.
For sure. Sounds good. I appreciate your time.
All right, thanks, Norm.
All right, take it easy.
It's a storm show. Ay, it's a storm show.
In all future calls, press 7. To reject this call, hang up now. You may begin speaking now.
How you doing, Storm? But everything is weird these days. But, yesterday, man, I was stressing and just, because I didn't know who he was, first of all. And I was kind of talking in blind at the same time. Because I didn't know who I was talking to. It's hard to trust people. People take my words, they twist them. And all I'm trying to do is get out the truth.
Yes.
And that's the only reason I continue talking is because even though I'm in the dark and don't know who I'm talking to, my strength comes from because I'm telling the truth, So I was going to say, man, you mean to tell me a BOP disciplinary hearing officer is going to just wake up one day and say, let me just take a chance on my career, losing my career and going to jail, and just access all of my private phone calls?
It doesn't make sense because personally I wouldn't risk my career like that.
That's my point. Let me just take a chance and just access R. Kelly's records, private records between him and his girlfriend and his attorney 153 times. So let me do it 153 times. Let me scan that to my own personal Gmail, and then let me send that to a blogger, Tasha K, who happens to know my girlfriend Joycelyn's father really good, who happens to know the parents of a government witness in my case. These are not coincidences, man. This is a plan. What plan it is, people have to figure that out for themselves. But it's a plan. Those are too many coincidences. And who's gonna do that? And besides, I'm already going through enough. So I wrote this thing down because I don't want to be scrambling on this phone for my little 15 minutes.
I got you.
And I know my own handwriting, so when people hear me say I wrote this down, I don't want nobody to go, oh, I thought he couldn't write. Well, I can't spell, but I can write. So this is my own handwriting. I said, I'm already going through enough. And the last thing I need is a BOP officer and a blogger illegally stealing and sharing my private phone calls and emails between me and my relationship, who just happened to be the government's star witness in my case. They have to stop acting like this didn't happen, or like it's not a big deal, because it's a really big deal. So big that I believe it tainted my case in a lot of ways, which also I believe was the plan, at least when it comes to this BOP officer and Tasha K. Because ask yourself, what other reason would a BOP officer, a disciplinary hearing officer who's like a judge in the prisons, why would they illegally access all of my emails and phone calls? Why? What is the reason to do that and send that to her own personal Gmail account? Give all of that information to a very influential blogger, Tasha K. Why would Tasha K need to share all of that with government witnesses in my case? Why were they both allowed to get away with it? This happened 4 years ago. This happened around the same time my girl was flipping on me and lying on me. It's been 4 years now, and I nor my attorneys even know who this lady is, this BOP officer. Don't know her name. I don't know if she's white, black. I don't know what. We haven't been told anything. How does she know Tasha K? How did they meet on this planet? How did a disciplinary hearing officer and a blogger meet? Yeah, people will say R. Kelly's just fishing. He's just trying to figure something out to get out of jail. You're damn right, because I'm not supposed to be in here. You don't have to fish, though, with this situation, because there's a search warrant, an affidavit that backs up everything I'm saying. People are just ignoring it, but it exists. It's in the public. It's in the system. It's in black and white that this BOP officer and Tasha K did this. And although the investigation is not fully disclosed, it should be. It was executed by a federal agent, not R. Kelly, not my attorneys, but by a federal agent. It was signed off by a federal judge who would never sign off on a search warrant unless there was enough probable cause to do so. I don't have to lie on anybody.
This call is from a federal prison.
And I definitely wouldn't be in the BOP, being held by the BOP, detained by the BOP, and on this damn phone lying on the BOP. Besides, it's not that I'm coming against the BOP. I'm coming against this BOP officer. And besides, if I was lying, this phone call would have been disconnected. Okay? It would have been cut off on me. But because I'm telling the truth, it's not. I know I had a very good chance of beating my case. But that chance was stolen from me when this BOP officer decided to illegally steal all my information and share it with government witnesses through Tasha K. And this is according to the OIJ. There was an investigation done, a search warrant done back in 2019, back in 2020, before I even went to court, which means I really shouldn't even went to trial until this investigation was fully investigated. Because now I'm found guilty, and here I am looking at all of this information that could have helped me in my case. It could have stopped people from being on the stand that was scorned or mad at me because they saw some illegal contraband shown to them by Tasha K from this DOP officer stealing it. If I'm not making sense, just leave my ass in here. But I know I'm making sense. And all I want is the full disclosure. I want full disclosure on this investigation. I want to know this lady who stole my information and gave it to Tasha K. I want to know why she did it. I want to know how she met Tasha K. I want to know why they did this to me. I want to know who else is involved. Why? Because you're damn right I want to go home, bro. I want to get my life back. Because nobody deserves this. I don't care if you had a traffic ticket. I don't care what kind of case you have. You have the right to prove your innocence without cheating, without people cheating, without people stealing your information and sharing it with witnesses, pissing witnesses off to come against you. A scorned woman, oh my God, will say anything when she's scorned. Will say anything when she's mad because she's seen some emails between you and another woman. It's like a championship game. Two NBA championship stars about to play one another. That's a high-profile game, and it's the 7th game. Win or go home. And they pull up in their cars at the stadium, and one gets out with the ref. Well, the other one is going to wonder, what the hell is he getting out with the ref for, out of his car? He's going to think in the door that the game is fixed. If that ref ends up later on after that person, that one guy lost, their team lost, and he finds out that that ref...
This call is from a federal prison.
...sharing illegal information with the other team, and it led them to their victory. He's not going to just be able to retire. He's going to get charged and arrested and investigated further to see who else is involved. So they can make sure it never happens again to not only that team, but any other team in the NBA. What's the difference in this ref and this DOP officer? There is no difference, because why? Law is law. Nobody's supposed to be above it. Not you, not me, not this DOP officer, not Tasha K. Nobody. Not even the ones who wrote the law. And I hope somebody hears me. I know God hears me, because he wouldn't have gave me this to say. I have nothing against law enforcement, the government, nobody. But right is right. You can't paint the game. You can't paint the pros. You can't paint a case. You can't paint it. And I know I'm talking too much and going all, but scrambling, I guess. But God bless these people. But this is not right. It's not justice. And I'm only talking because I feel like I'm buried alive. But the good news is that I'm alive, so I'm kicking. And I don't give a damn who dig me up at this point, because I am literally racing against my health now. I'm just racing against... All right, man, that's it.
Okay.
I wanted to end by saying real quick on Lifetime. As far as Lifetime is concerned, there are real people, real women out here really being abused, really missing. They're really missing. They're really chained up in basements. I've been in here 4 years. I haven't seen one person that was ever chained up in a basement come forward for anything. But I tell you one thing, before Lifetime came out, I was minding my business. I was in the studio. I was working with celebrities. I had tours. But when Lifetime came out, all of that went away. Meaning, before Lifetime came out, I had no charges pending against me. Nobody had went to a radio station or had went to, a police station. It took a year to put together Lifetime. If all of the things they said I did on Lifetime were true, it only take a minute to go to a police station. But when there's a crime committed, you don't go make a movie on it. You go to the police station. Nobody had done that. There was no feds or cops swarming my house and arresting me. There were no charges brought against me. If all these things, man, they done took me out there worse than Lucifer. Not that person, bro. I don't give a damn what nobody say. I'm not that person. And people who have common sense know that. And they don't have to be my fans. It's people that's not even my fans that knows that. I'm done, man. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate your ears, nothing else. I'm going to be honest, I didn't feel comfortable. But I'm kicking. Look.
It's a storm show. Ay, it's a storm show.
Forget that. The important thing is I want you to see, bro. Okay. Whoever's putting a song saying I'm putting an album out called I Admit It, anytime something like that reaches the news, right, then it's like somebody wants people to see I put out an album called I Admit It. It's not about the album. It's about the saying I admit it.
It's a storm show. Ay, it's a storm show.
Right. With my damn appeal coming up. Right. Right. See through the bullshit is what I'm saying. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about, man. See, what do Fox News care about promoting my album? Bro, it's viral. I got 20 calls today. It went viral. It's everywhere. I already know that. But what I'm saying is, you got to see why it's viral. Right. It's not about the album. It's about who puts out an album while they're in jail. Saying I admit. Right. So somebody wanted that to come out at this particular time. Right. It's a very convenient time, and it's not a coincidence that some dumb shit like that will come out, man. I agree.
It's a storm show. Ay, it's a storm show.
Now, Bonjean did go to TMZ quoted Bonjean saying that she's going to track it down and that you did not put it out. So that's also went viral. Her statement went viral. It was everywhere, saying it's not him. It's not my client. It's not Robert. You know, but I understand what you're saying, that is strategically done. Exactly, is what I'm saying, bro. Because, you know, even I'm looking at the songs on there, man, nobody would put that. Nobody would put them songs. Them songs is 20, 15, 30 years old. Oh, I got you. So who would put them songs out? Man. Done recent stuff like 5 years ago, if they was going to do that. Right. Well, what do you want me to do? I'm definitely going to speak out against it, but, you know, I know you can't instruct people what to do, but I'm going to spread the word that, you know, you didn't put that shit out. I don't have to instruct you. Your common sense will instruct you. Right. I just told you what I told you. It ain't about instructing no damn body. It's about telling what the truth is. I mean, I didn't put the album out. Period. Right.
It's a storm show. Ay, it's a storm show.
Right. You can't get in trouble for telling the goddamn truth. Right. I didn't put no album out. I wouldn't put no album out. You know,
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So sometimes people gotta see through the bullshit. You know, it's like,
Right.
why at this time with my appeal coming up and everything, and you know, why the hell I want to put out something like that?
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Well,
On that, people going, you know, it's all good. I'm just letting you know, bro.
yeah, I mean, it's like you said. Now I see the clear pictures, like you said, that I admit part. Yeah, I get it now. You feel me? And yeah, you know, there has to be, you know, bro. Like I said, man, don't get frustrated. I know how you feel. I know. But just don't get frustrated. You know what I'm saying? She's already put the fire out by saying you didn't put it out. You know what I mean? And that's just the games that they play, which I'm explaining to the president.
Yeah, but see, the damage is done, though.
Right.
You know, I understand she put it out, and that's great. But what I'm trying to show you is that they don't care about it. They don't care about it being put out because people already saw the title in the fire.
Yeah, you're right.
See, the damage is done, so they're not concerned about it being put out. They already know the fire was gonna be put out.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But it's the fact that they put it out there and it's false.
That's right. That's right.
And now it's the talk of the town, and the talk of the town going around, and the deal is coming up, and you got a song out called I Admit. Why would he put a song out and album out called I Admit?
Absolutely. You're right.
At a time like this, and whoa, that's very sarcastic of him to do that, and this, that, it starts that kind of shit.
Right, bro. I know, brother. I know.
So, all right, man. As long as you know.
Okay, brother. Listen, man. Okay, thank you so much, baby boy. Listen, hang tough. Don't you know what's up? All right.
I'm hanging tough, bro.
All right, love you, Rob. Keep doing what you're doing. All right, hang tough, baby.
All right, boy.
All right, bet.
It's a storm show. Ay, it's a storm show.
Storm chasers, we alive. We alive. Y'all gonna come on in here. It's about what, 80, 85 of y'all in here. Y'all gonna come on in the room. Since they say I'm stealing, y'all come over here and mess with a thief. Y'all come on over. Y'all come on in. Come on in. Just got back from my damn second. Oh, we got 216 already. Just got back from my damn second workout, and I still gotta finish. But I said, nah, I'm gonna come and address these rumors, these lies, because they're lies. All right. And I'm not gonna say the lies came from haters. I'm just gonna say they came from people that are definitely hateful. Okay. All right. Yeah. We just started. So let's get right on into it, because I'm gonna shoot the link. I'm gonna let y'all comment after I get through with my little thing, and then I finish working out. All right, cool. So as you guys know, let me put on my headphones. As you guys know. Did y'all hear that? Let me know, could y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? I'm gonna shoot that link in a minute. Could y'all hear the audio that I played? Let me know. You say no, you couldn't hear it? Okay, hold on. I want y'all to be able to hear it. I want you to be able to hear it. Okay? Hold up. We're gonna go here. And then I'm gonna take it back to me. Let's try again. I'm the nigga. Now, could you hear that? Could y'all hear that? Let me know. I'm gonna watch it here in the chat. You can hear that? What did he say? I'm that what? Hold up. I'm that nigga. It's me. I'm that nigga. Did you hear it? Folks want to go around hating on me for what? Because I got an exclusive? Because Robert Sylvester Kelly called me? You'd have put that Oh, we passed 1 minute. You'd have put that motherfucking interview up if he had called you. You'd have put that motherfucking interview up had he called you. I ain't did no different than nobody else. Congratulate me. See, here's the problem. For too motherfucking long, I've been walking around here being humble. I've been on these internet streets being humble, being quiet, not really talking my shit. And I really got y'all believing that I'm just some babbling idiot on the internet that don't know what the fuck he doing. No, baby, I know when to turn it on and when to turn it off. I know when to keep my mouth shut and when to speak. And so despite what anybody got to say on their show about R. Kelly coming on my shit, how he get that? Why R. Kelly want to talk to him? How did he get that? I've been working on this shit for years. I've been working on this for years. And I have kept my mouth shut. Why? I damn sure ain't gonna share no good news with you motherfucking haters. I didn't do nothing but give you a little teaser for the Corey Hardrick interview. And you see what happened with that. So can somebody tell me why anytime it's some good news for me, it's a problem? And let me address this too. It don't matter what the first interview did or the second, because he called me twice. He called me twice from the penitentiary. Not to mention that every time the call from the prison comes through, it automatically hangs up the first time, which means he has to call right back. So he took the time to not just call me twice in the 2 days, but technically 4 times in the 2 days. If you really believe that I will go and steal somebody's audio and try to put it off as my own, you're crazy as hell. You don't even believe that shit. You don't even believe that. Y'all watch everything I do. Y'all watch it like a hawk. I'm not saying you watch every video, but something like R. Kelly, where I'm actually talking to him, you're going to watch it and comb through everything. I can't get nothing past y'all. Black folks do more investigation on the internet than the FBI. So you think that I think I can get something like that past y'all? Number one. Number two, I ain't even that kind of dude to do that to nobody. Now, how did I get the interview? I know people in the camp. I know a lot of people that y'all don't know I know. I ain't even gonna show y'all my DMs. Them DMs be lit. They be lit. And there's a lot of people trying to fuck. Yes, there is. I ain't gonna lie about that either. Male and female. A lot of motherfuckers you would have never think. But that ain't my business to be putting out there. I'm just saying. I know a lot of motherfuckers that y'all don't know I know. Don't hate, just congratulate. I went on Roseanne's show. We still talk to this day. We had Jaguar right. And no matter what y'all want to say, baby, we had the internet on fire. Now, I don't give a damn that I ain't been able to match some numbers since. Bitch, I had it once. Bitch, I had what you trying to motherfucking get right now. And this ain't directed at no one particular person. This is just for anybody that got an issue. I'm just talking in general. I promise. I really don't care about y'all know I don't care about these folks. Bitch, I got and had what you're trying to get. Bitch, if I never get it again, I had it. Come on now. We done had R&B singers, Lou Nell. We have had legit people come on the show. So why would you be that shocked that I couldn't get R. Kelly? Yeah, Conscious had my back. Really, Conscious broke all this shit down. I low-key need to hire Conscious as my PR. Like, in the controversy, I ain't even doing no talking. Talk to my PR, because the way he break it down, thank you, real deal. The way he break it down, you not. First of all, Conscious is too intelligent. You're not even finna getting it over his head anyway. He broke it straight down. Them motherfuckers couldn't wait to run they dick suckers on the internet to try and say I stole this girl's shit, potentially trying to then cause a beef between me and that girl. Now let me back up. Like I said, I know some people in this camp. Okay, I've been working on this for a while. That interview wasn't the way I expected it to go down, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna take it how I can get it. And what I was told was, okay, look, be expecting his call. This is what it's gonna say when he calls. Just be on the lookout. I said, damn, okay, I'm gonna be in California. This was last week. R. Kelly was supposed to call me around New Year's. Y'all know I just got back from LA. So I was anxious, waiting on this. He finally called me the other day, and the rest is history. So it's not gonna sound like Natasha's interview where they planned it in advance. They hooked in the phone to the I have a Rodecaster, a podcasting machine, but they have actual radio equipment because Natasha and her producer, they're actual radio people. R. Kelly already knew them, which is why he sounds comfortable, which is why he's really open, and which is why he just went and talked to them, because he want to talk to somebody. Now, I didn't even want to put this out there, but I'm going to put it out there since y'all want to know. He was not even supposed to do that interview with them. That was not what his team wanted him to do. He did that on his own because he knows them and he's comfortable with them. He was supposed to come over here first. This is not me hating that he went over there first. This is me just telling you what it is. And he got fussed at a little bit because of that. Why? Because Natasha does not have the reach on YouTube to really take the interview potentially really where it could go. And I'm going to keep it real even further and say a lot more y'all really do want to click on the video, but because you don't fuck with me for whatever reason, you're not going to click on the video. And that's just what it is. And that's really the type of audience I got, and I accept that. It is what it is. Cause that shit went through a lot of y'all algorithms, and I don't fuck with him. I'll watch somebody talk about it. Okay, cool. That's cool too. But whether you click it or not, bitch, I got it. It's on my resume. Now, he did the interview with Natasha. It was featured on Shade Room and the Neighborhood Talk, I believe. Other than that, it did not do much traction on the internet. I'm talking about on YouTube. And his team really wanted this information out on YouTube because a lot of the receipts came out on YouTube 3-4 years ago about him. On another person's YouTube channel. We already know who that is. We don't need to go there. So just like from his perspective, the disrespect was on YouTube. I need to speak out on that same platform. But keep in mind, R. Kelly old school. He don't know nothing about this shit. He old school. So he was raised up on, you call the radio station to talk your ish. We passed those days. Radio stations are dying. We know that. Please stop the cap. And low key, YouTube is already dying, and the new thing is TikTok. We just keeping it a stack. Everything got like a 10 to 15 year cycle, and that's it. So that's why he felt comfortable. That's why it do sound more professional over there. But y'all know we clatch it over here. We classy ratchet. And my people like this shit a little ratchet. They don't like all that super polished. My people don't like that. And that's cool. So I'm going to give the people what they want. So when you come over here, you ain't coming in the hood, but you on that borderline of the hood. You know when like the nice neighborhood here, the hood is here, and you on that borderline. We on that borderline of the hood. You see it over the fence. That's what's that you come to my show, that's what it's like. Bitch, I may be on my phone hole. I may be in a do-rag one day. I may be in a suit the next day. Y'all know how I get down. You should know it by now. So anyway, with that being said, he came, he did the interview, then he did the interview again. A lot of y'all saying, you edited, you redacted the interview. Yes, I cut a lot of my responses out because it was not about me. It was about him. But we will be putting the full raw audio on Patreon and available for channel members tonight. So you can watch it in its entirety. Listen to it, rather, in its entirety. From start to finish on what I said and what he said. I don't know what else to say. It's been proven. I didn't take that girl's audio. That shit is ridiculous. That shit's ridiculous. First off, how am I gonna take the audio of somebody I don't even know? I don't know her. And it's no shade towards her at all. I don't know her. I remember seeing the interview featured on the Shade Room. And at that time, she had like 800 subscribers. I according to Conscious, she's between 2,000 to 3,000 now. Okay, cool. She did an interview with an old girl. I know that probably helped. Okay, cool. If you want to listen to his interview with her, go over there and listen to it. I'm not hating. I'm not gonna share the link, but I'm not hating. She's been on a way bigger platform than mine. Whatever that platform couldn't do for her, it ain't none of my concern. Ain't nobody rushing to share shit for me. Yeah, that nice guy shit, that shit gone. Fuck that shit. You do for me, I do for you. You don't do them for me, I ain't going out my motherfucking way. I low-key feel like this was a plot just to get her more views on that video anyway. Not even necessarily saying Natasha had anything to do with that, but just other people like, well, she deserves some views too. Let's drum this scheme up so everybody can respond and talk about it. Then y'all can go over there. And if it is, that's cool too. I ain't mad. But baby, it's been proven. I ain't steal shit. We got so much shit to talk about. What I need to go steal something for? Y'all should know me better than that by now. Y'all really should. Yes. Then you hear R. Kelly say my name a couple of times. In the raw audio, you're going to hear him say it a few more times. When he first called me, he says, Storm, I'm calling you Storm. I said, yeah, this is Storm. I said, just like the weather, like X-Men. He said, okay. Said, this is Robert. How you doing? I said, I'm doing fine. I started to call him Mr. Kelly before I knew it. I started calling him Rob. I'm acting like I really been knowing him for a long time. As long as I don't call that nigga daddy, I'm good. Start calling him daddy, I done got brainwashed. He called the phone. What's going on, Rob? I'm just listen, whatever. It is what it is. He don't trip. So his team wanted him to come over here because I'm unbiased, non-biased, whatever. And I'm just going to let him get his point across. You don't have to like him. You don't have to be a fan of his, nothing like that. But I want to hear what he say too. Because just because he may have done XYZ allegedly, which I have to say allegedly, don't mean that some other shit ain't been done either. So we don't need to hide none. Put it all out there. That's all I'm saying. I'm trying to think. I don't think it's nothing else I really need to address. Because really Conscious did a good job of breaking it all down. But that's it. Let me go ahead and put the link in. I don't think it's nothing else. Oh, wait. But hold on one sec. I mean, you know, because who, you know, where would I be without? Let me stop the cam for a minute. Hold on, I'm gonna stop this cam for a minute. Where would I be without really letting y'all know how a brother feel? How good New York gonna take us out here? Let's let her talk for it.
Do I look like I can? Yes, I don't. Do I look like I can? Yes, I don't. Do I look like I can? Yes, I don't. Do I look like I can? Yes, I don't. Yes, I don't. Look like I can? Yes, I don't. Do I look like I can? Yes, I don't. Do I look like I can? Yes, I don't. Do I look like I can? Yes, I don't.
I don't. And guess what? If R. Kelly called me back, I'm gonna take the call again. I'm gonna take every call that he makes. It's all on him. All right. Let me go ahead and invite y'all into the live. Shit's just stupid. Like, what? Still that girl shit. All right, Mr. Levi, how you doing today?
Trying to get my brother. Can you hear me very well?
I can hear you good, man. I can hear you good. It's good to put a face to the name.
Yes.
Voice rather.
Yes, sir.
Now, as you probably already know, people definitely have had a lot of comments and things to say about you. So I'll let you first introduce yourself before we get into everything.
Yes, sir. My name is Levi. I have a channel that is dedicated to my cousin R. Kelly called Levi for Kelly on YouTube. I have been following Robert's case since its inception, when he was first charged. And because I consider myself to be somewhat legally astute, I feel that he's always felt, he and I corresponding ever since he's been in this situation, that I would be suitable to explain to the people those intricate details, those very intricate details as it pertains to how he was charged, why he was charged, what we feel was a propaganda conspiracy-led campaign against him, and other very dominant factors in alerting the people. When you have spoken, and as you continue to speak with Rob, as you know, he only has limited time on the phone.
Yeah, he always tells me like, "Hey man, I got 15 minutes."
There you go. There you go. So like when I spoke with him today, he exhausted the whole 15 minutes, and he wanted to tell you what's up. You know, he'll be giving you a call. However, and he wanted to personally thank you for allowing he himself to have a voice, and then by allowing me to come on to further expand and expound on those very important details concerning the absconsion of his BOP records and other things that most people, brother, they just don't know about. Most people are unaware of the atrocities and the atrocious injustices and inadequacies that have transpired in his cases. I mean, I personally feel that this is one of the greatest travesties of justice, or travesty of justice, that America has ever seen, when we consider why he was charged and how he was charged. But
recently, the state case in Illinois against R. Kelly, it was dropped.
Right.
And some news outlets talked about it, but I feel like it really did not get the coverage that it should have had. So I guess I can say, how do you feel about the case being dropped? And do you honestly feel that your cousin is innocent or guilty?
Yes, sir. First, let me say that in the mind of the logical person, the logically thinking person, prior to any federal cases being put forth against Robert, we had a state case, right? However, now that state case, after the federal cases, after they've taken their course, Prosecutor Kim Foxx comes back around and says, well, there's no need to charge him in the state case, or could continue on and bring him to trial in the state case. Now, I find that problematic for several reasons. One being, if this was what set it off, the state case, and we consider it sparked really the federal cases, why not complete the mission? Now, don't get me wrong. Neither my cousin or myself, are willing to look a gift horse in the mouth, if you will. We, and anyone who is a true supporter of his would applaud the fact and welcome the fact that the state case was dropped. This is why behind me you see the Biden party, Biden Pardon R. Kelly campaign that I've launched. I was waiting to launch this after the state case was dropped. Now, more poignantly, you asked me, do I believe in his guilt or innocence? And if, either way, expound on that. Now, I believe in Robert's 1,000% legal innocence. Now, when someone says that, who is pro R. Kelly, I being his cousin, they would think maybe I'm being biased. No, I believe in his moral guilt. According to most individuals, moral compass, most people in America would find a 40-something, 30-something, 50-something-year-old man having sexual relations with teenage adults. That is a term that I've coined. Teenage adults. An 18-year-old is a teenage adult. A 19-year-old is a teenage adult. But whether they're 18, 19, 20, most people would find it appalling to think of a 30, 40, 50-year-old man having sexual relations with an 18, 19-year-old. We can
even though it's legal. Yeah.
Even though it's legal, right. Now, I don't want anyone that's watching this to say, well, he's trying to deflect away from the quote unquote children that he was charged with. You hear this a lot, child molester or pedo or children. We'll get to that in a minute. The idea of any grown man having relations with 18 or 19-year-old, someone that's young enough for their daughter, most Americans find that appalling. However, I find it interesting that when you look at the life of most celebrities, you look at an Elvis Presley, when you look at a Hugh Hefner, when you look at even those African-American entertainers who we now see, and I'm not throwing anyone under the bus, but when we see a Puff Daddy, is it Young Miami that he's dating?
Young Miami, and this 28-year-old he just got pregnant.
Okay, so realistically speaking, not hating on Puff, he's old enough to be their fathers, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what we have, if you look at who Prince was dating before he passed away, when you look at most celebrities, when you ask yourself, be it movies or singers or the entertainment industry, period, how many entertainers are actually married and dating women their ages? Think about it.
Hardly none.
Denzel, Samuel L. Jackson, and a few more. You see them with their wives. Their wives are roughly their age.
But they've been with their wives for years. I mean, they didn't even if you think about Morgan Freeman, he divorced his wife and then actually got with technically his step granddaughter, who was much, much younger. But
right,
if we're gonna be real, what we see the men typically do is, even when they constantly get remarried, they remarry younger in their 20s, and then they have the rock stars do it. Aerosmith and Mickey, I can't even think of his name, but you get the point.
Mickey Six. Yeah.
Thank you. They like in their 70s still having kids. Like it's
there you go. So when you look at Mick Jagger's wives,
Mick Jagger, that's what I meant. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. You see all of them are younger. So now that is not to excuse Robert. What I'm saying is that from a moral position, I don't agree with that lifestyle morally, from my moral compass. However, it is wrong to have a juror or jurors or a jury of regular people judging a celebrity. If Robert had the Mick Jaggers, the Steven Tylers, the Nikki Sixx, the Elvises, those who work in entertainment as jurors of his peers, these are his peers, they would have looked at it through a different prism. They would have looked at this, at the time, 45 to 50-some-year-old man having sexual relations with younger, much younger young ladies as being maybe a little bit extreme, 18, 19, but at the same time, it is a lifestyle. You just had, and I'm not throwing P. Diddy up under the bus. We've heard for the last 10 years that Robert R. Kelly is a menace to society because he urinated on a young lady or a child. Then he's convicted, and I'm not justifying it. I'm not saying that he did that. But you, from my understanding, had one of Puff Daddy's girlfriends just come out and say she likes golden shower.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah. So,
although people will still bring up the age difference when we make that correlation, but I see what you're saying. It's for years R. Kelly was demonized for the simple act of that, and now it's cool for everybody to say they do that. It's insane.
And I want to be clear. I, someone having daughters myself, I do not agree morally with a lot of my cousins' moral decisions, with a lot of R. Kelly's moral decisions. But what I want people to understand is that he is not being held up in a moral court. He's being held in a legal court. So to wrap up what you asked about the case being dismissed, the federal charges, and to wrap this whole conversation up in this regard, I will say this, that 85% of Americans deem R. Kelly guilty based on a docuseries. Even the case that was just dismissed by prosecutor Kim Fox, she admits during her press conference when the charges were initially set that she watched the docuseries. I'll send you, and perhaps you can put it on the screen, one of the individuals who were responsible for charging R. Kelly, who works for the Justice Department. He tweeted confirming that, yes, we started to investigate R. Kelly for these crimes after we saw Surviving R. Kelly, the docuseries. So when we have a Justice Department who is willing to bring charges against an American citizen based on a documentary or a docuseries, I find that absolutely problematic. I find it to be absolutely un-American. And most importantly, I find it to be absolutely unconstitutional. Let's be clear. R. Kelly is no saint. But at the same time, his guilt, from my vantage point, I'm going to be frank. Can you swear on here?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
His guilt, what he's guilty of, was being a womanizer, loving all women of all ages. What he was guilty of, to be more poignant, is being a man who couldn't keep his dick in his pants. Period. Let's be clear. However, if we in America or the American Justice Department chose to lock men up for being womanizers and not being able to keep their dicks in their pants, a lot of us would be locked up. I would be up under the jail. That lifestyle of being promiscuous, to the average person, to the average man, you kind of, when you're young, you do your thing. As you get older, let me find a woman and settle down, or two, right? Never slow down. He loves women. He's the king of R&B. He, being blessed with the gift of song and being able to write, it was, in fact, and is, in fact, a gift and a curse. So here you have a handsome dude, no homo, very well gifted and talented. And he just happens to sing songs that are sexual songs that appeal to women. So he's like a kid in a candy store, if you understand what I'm saying.
It was thrown at him. We gotta be real. It was when you famous as a man, it's thrown at you. And a lot of celebrities, a lot of male celebrities that cut ties with him was right there next to him.
There you go. So what we have are a lot of male celebrities, and we can get into that in a minute, but they're scared to death. See, what you just touched on. What you have are these celebrities who know if they come out and defend R. Kelly, they're going to be blackballed.
Mhm.
But if you want to sell an album, if you want to promote a play, if you have not been heard from in years, but you're trying to promote something, all you got to do is make a statement that you saw R. Kelly do something, or I was with him in the studio, or it's a damn shame R. Kelly hit on my daughter, or he hit on, you feel me? So now you're in the headlines because you're saying something bad about R. Kelly. But when you say something like Lil Bootsy said, that the parents were primarily responsible in the case with this one young lady, Jane Doe number 5, then Lil Bootsy gets hate mail. Lil Bootsy gets attacked. We have now Whack 100 coming out speaking up for my cousin. And I'm on here to urge all of these black celebrities to take a close look at what transpired. Don't just allow a docuseries and the media to say R. Kelly is guilty, and then you believe he's guilty based on what these people said. Now, let me get to this because I don't want to hold you too long, brother. I appreciate your time.
No, you good, you good.
Here's the deal. I'm going to send it to you, and perhaps you can put it in here. The people who constructed the docuseries, Dream Hampton in particular, she did an interview. And in her interview, you will hear her say that out of all of the females, all of the women that she interviewed for Surviving R. Kelly, every single one of them, at the end of that interview, she specifically asked them, do you feel he should go to prison, should be locked up? And, you have it there. I'll be quiet and listen.
Yeah. I think this is about minute 440. Let's see.
That he has in the Black community as a currency. And I hope that this ends soon. I mean, when I interviewed the girls, each and every one of them talked about not wanting to see him in jail, actually, but wanting him to get help. They actually, even though they didn't use the words restorative justice, they have a restorative justice framework for this man. They want him, when they said they want him to get help, I took that to mean that they wanted him to get a combination of professional therapy and spiritual kind of help, probably.
Well, what about this issue, Dream Hampton, of what should happen to him if he is convicted of these crimes? You heard the clip from Michael Avenatti. Is jail what you a long stretch in jail what you think should happen with him?
You know, I'm not a carceral feminist, so my instinct isn't to say, let's send people to the prison industrial complex. And I was just saying that at the end of each interview, where these girls had talked about all their pain and trauma, each of them said they wanted him to get help. None of them said they wanted him to go to jail. But a restorative justice process requires that someone admit the harm that they've done, that they own that harm, that they come to this process. I just did a film inside of an Indiana prison.
There you go. Now that's very interesting. So listen.
That's interesting that every single girl said, I don't want him to go to jail though.
All of them.
That's
every one of them.
I didn't even know that part until I found that clip. I have never seen that interview until I actually went and searched for it. I didn't know that.
So-called victim. She didn't say with the exception of a few.
No, she said everyone. Which is making me, and I'm not taking up for nobody. I'm just asking, right? Were any now I'm wondering the stories that the girls told on Surviving R. Kelly, were they coached? Were things embellished to sell TV? Because kind of like how you can say, well, I had my own room, and well, don't say that, say that he kept you in your room and you had to ask permission. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was embellished? Because if you do me wrong, I want you in jail. Just say
all of them said no. So you know what that means? And then she interprets what they said, whatever. But here's the deal. That meant all of them were basically saying he needs to keep his dick in his pants. Mm-hmm. He loves women. That's what they were basically saying. Now, however, this is what Dream Hampton and most people don't know. Those people, individuals who were interviewed by Dream Hampton and those at Lifetime. They interviewed them for 5 or 6 hours each. Then, when it was time, as they're creating this documentary, go Google what I'm saying, people. As my cousin sits in prison fighting for his life, I don't have time to come on here with idle, frivolous speech. Go Google it. What people don't know is that 4 editors, if not 5, black editors, towards the completion of Surviving R. Kelly, Lifetime, Dream Hampton, they had an issue with what was being edited, how it was being edited, how it was the editing, as you know, Brother Storm, that's the final product.
Yeah, and I can make anything look like anything.
There you go. So when you edit something, it's like making a tailor-made suit.
Yes.
For a person, right? You click,
and I'm going to do it to suit me.
There you go. So they wanted to do it to suit this misplaced idea, this lie that he was a monster, right? So what Dream Hampton doesn't want people to know, what Lifetime don't want you to know, go Google it for yourself. These 4 or 5 black editors towards the end had an issue and met with Dream Hampton, the producers and the owners. In that meeting, they expressed to them, we out. We can't do this. Google it. The owners then paid them, made them sign an NDA, meaning they can't speak about it. We're going to give you your money, but you can't speak about this. Now, why would 4 or 5 black editors meet amongst each other and say, you know what, we can't do this shit? They knew their job was to edit. They had 5 or 6 hours of interviews of every person who spoke about R. Kelly. I believe, allegedly.
Okay, hold up. I think I found it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When it was time to edit, they said, wait a minute. Let's see. Go ahead, brother.
And I want to let everybody know this is I'm reacting to this in real time. Okay. All right. Article therap.com this was written August 12th, 2020, so 3 years ago. Original editors of Lifetime Surviving R. Kelly walked out over creative disagreements. The original editors of Lifetime's now famous 2019 docuseries Surviving R. Kelly walked out over creative disagreements on how best to portray the sexual assault survivors. But how do you have to? Okay, here's my thing. How they're portrayed really shouldn't matter. Their stories is what's important.
If they're truly survivors. See, when someone says how best to portray victims, that means they're questioning as to whether or not they're victims. How do you mean? How to portray them? They're victims. Well, listen, if someone robs a store and shoots a security guard, how you going to? Well, I don't know how we're going to portray the security guard who was shot. No, right? You got to portray he was shot. So this is how they word it. This is how they word it.
Well, okay. Let me read this to them. The problems first started after the initial cut was handed in. So they finished the docuseries. They handed it in, then got it back with notes asking for several changes and wanted the docuseries to focus more on R. Kelly's rise to stardom and add more imagery of him in between the survivor stories to keep the audience attention instead of just telling the stories. So instead of just going victim 1, victim 2, victim 3, they wanted victim 1. So you see R. Kelly face, victim 2, you see R. Kelly face. Okay. So then the editors didn't want to do this because they believe it was centered too much on R. Kelly and not the actual stories of the survivors. They also believed, that Lifetime was using true crime elements. So that's like when you watch Oxygen Channel, MSNBC, stuff like that. to sensationalize the story and that it would be insensitive to survivors and to the Black community. Bunham Morey produced this? Wait a minute. Bunham Morey Productions produced this?
I don't know who he is. Do you?
Those are the same people that do every reality show on E.
There you go.
That's Keeping Up with the Kardashians. That's
there
fake.
You go. There you go.
I did
Scripted
not. It's scripted. I did not know that. Okay, Bunham Morey said that the changes were a part of industry standard. So that means they went, okay. So let's back up because this ain't me. This is the article. I'm gonna put the links for y'all that's watching. What this means is that the actual production company didn't really care about telling a story. They just wanted something that would get ratings.
There you go.
Because these were not Bunham Morey, they do all the reality shows, which is fake anyway.
There you have it, fake. So another thing they're not mentioning.
Wow.
That's interesting, isn't it? So
I never knew, because when you watch the docuseries, they do not list Bunham Morey. They don't put him up there. Bunham Morey, you know, that's Ryan Seacrest's people.
I didn't know that. Conspiracy people.
The same people that did Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Bad Girls Club, Real World. Oh, y'all for real?
Yes, sir. And when you watch the docuseries, first of all, let me address what they just said.
Okay.
They said their explanation was, well, the editors wanted to show more of the victims and less of R. Kelly. But when you look at the finished product, all they showed were the alleged victims. When you look at the finished product, they don't talk about his rise to fame and him. They don't talk about that. They spend 15% talking about that, and 85% with those women sitting there, and I'll say it, telling goddamn lies. Such to the extent that even they themselves, after they gave their interviews, said, well, we don't want to see them locked up. So what they did was clipped and cut. Now, another thing I want people to notice in that docuseries, the music. I want you to notice the music. I want you to notice when in the original Surviving R. Kelly, when they interviewed the so-called victims, they had a halo behind them. There was a halo in the background when they were sitting there talking, feeding the subliminal mind that they're angels. But when they showed my cousin, when they show R. Kelly, they show him with a cigar, with a menacing look, holding his crotch. That speaks to what you just talked about as that particular group creating reality shows and scripted reality shows. But what is most atrocious, people? I want Drake to listen to me, Kanye West, every Black entertainer to hear me very clearly. What is most atrocious is that we have now crossed over to a time where a socio-political movement like Me Too, where a company, a media company that makes that makes reality shows, can actually incite and encourage and dictate to the Justice Department that they should file indictments against American citizens, especially celebrities. You heard Sparkle in Surviving R. Kelly. No disrespect to Sparkle. She did an interview with Ricky Smiley, and someone asked her, have you ever slept with R. Kelly? She said, no. I almost crashed my truck. And I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to get you in no legal trouble. But they sat there and they told so many lies, brother. If Dream Hampton, this is me talking, if the Justice Department, if those who say R. Kelly is guilty, if you really believe he's guilty, I would challenge Lifetime and Dream Hampton and those producers to release to the public the entire interviews from everyone they interviewed.
Oh,
that's my challenge.
I would be interested in watching that too, because I know you got the uncut footage. So release it. I would be interested in that too.
It'll be inconsistencies. It will be so many contradictions. It will be so many statements where the editors, listen, y'all, let me cut through the chase. Shit. Storm, we black folk. If I say to you, Storm, hey man, you can make $5,000, roll with me. When do black people normally get out of the car? When they see I can make this money, but Levi just asked me to make this $5,000, but shit, he didn't tell me all this. He's asking me to run up in the spot. You feel me? To do something illegal. So when black people jump ship, they're saying, no, they sat and talked amongst each other allegedly and said, you know what? The way they putting this together, we might all end up locked up in prison, lying on that man.
And they didn't want nothing to do with it.
They didn't want nothing to do with it. So
I think it was pitched to them a certain way, and then when they really got in there, they're like, "You want us to do what?" Because all you got to do is switch words around, mess up the context, and really anybody can be made to look horrible.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. So we have that out the way.
Wow.
The docuseries that's deep. What you just played, isn't it?
Yeah, because I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like the public is gonna have their opinions, and I get that, and they have a right to their opinion. But at the end of the day, I can certainly tell that there are certain articles and details that have been buried online. Because I had to search for that. You see what I'm saying? You got to search for stuff like that.
And all we're asking is that have your opinion, but at least base it on facts.
Yes.
You feel me? Base your opinion on facts. Now, let's get to another fact. Jane Doe number 5. Bootsy touched on a little Bootsy. Most people, Brother Storm, I'll send it to you. I'm not prepared right now, but what I'm saying to you is absolutely factual. All of you people out there listening to me who think R. Kelly is guilty, I want you to listen to me. During the federal trial in New York, what if I told you that the transcripts show during the trial that the young lady who you saw on Gayle King, the parents that you saw on Lifetime and in other interviews, who gave the people of America the impression that R. Kelly ran off with their daughter, I will be providing Storm. You'll see it on my channel with 100% irrefutable proof in the form of testimony and court documentation and discovery, and a motion that his attorney, Ms. Bonjean, filed, confirming, listen to me, people, turn your devices up, that when when R. Kelly met that young lady at 17 years of age, at least one of her parents told her to tell him that she was 18 years of age. Check this out. In addition to that, when the phone number was exchanged, the court records confirm, the Justice Department is well aware of it, it's all throughout the documents, that for the first week or so, the mother of Jane Doe number 5 was the one text messaging R. Kelly. She was the one texting him and sex texting him, such to the extent that when she would text, R. Kelly's on the other end of the phone thinking he's talking to an 18-year-old teenage adult. But it's the mother who is texting him. So the mother, in turn, says to the daughter, and this is all documented, to her daughter, who was 17, girl, he's trying to fuck. Allegedly, they set up the meeting at the Dolphin Hotel in Florida. They were aware that their daughter was going to the Dolphin Hotel to meet R. Kelly. Somehow, the daughter, according to the transcripts, ends up in a room with him. They were aware of it, at least one of the parents were, with identification. Check it out. They sent her to the hotel. Either hotel security or the police knocks on the door. Set up. When they walk in, they say to the young lady, according to court documents, well, your mother and them called, your parents called, they were looking for you. Oh, I'm fine. Let me see your ID. They looked at her ID and confirmed that she was 18 years of age. Fake ID given to her to trick R. Kelly.
Dang.
After that, she goes home, and the same parent or parents, 6 days, 7 days allegedly later, sends her off with R. Kelly, with him being under the impression that she's 18, but she's really 17. And then, according to court documents, the parents started to ask him for things. Food trucks, money. The mother allegedly says, I want to drive your tour bus. We want a job. We want something from this. So when that young lady told Gayle King that my parents was fine with me being with him until the money stopped or until he wouldn't do nothing for him. And then
that was true.
You see how that go?
That was true. And whether people like R. Kelly or not, come on now. Come on now. We all there's been other people on YouTube to put that out there as well. Yeah. Once the money stopped, everybody had an issue with him. But when he was cashing out on everybody, it was all good.
Absolutely.
Can we just talk about the fact, and I know we got to move on.
Yes, sir.
But can we talk about the fact that these parents hand delivered their kids to him?
Without a doubt. Well, I can speak for sure on Jane Doe number 5. Document. See, I don't like to accuse people falsely. But the other young lady was of age, right? So that is, if you notice, the other young lady that was in the Gayle King interview, she wasn't in the trial. He wasn't charged with her because she was of age. Jane Doe number 5 was charged. He was charged with her because of that threshold of 18 and 17. Even though the government confirmed that the parents tricked him, and sent her off with him with, from my vantage point, allegedly, with fake ID. Now, Storm, you know bouncers, police, and security, when they check ID, they're normally accurate, right? When they read your ID.
Right.
Police officers, when they look at your ID, you can't tell that you're 17, that you're 18 and you're 17. They looked at it and okayed it and said you're 18.
Yeah.
So it was a setup, bro. He was set up, but no one wants to talk about this. No one wants to talk about how parents were complicit in this. No one wants to talk about how in America someone can be set up like that and the Justice Department basically brush over it and charge the person anyway. I don't want to hold.
Let me ask you this: do you think that his case will be overturned?
Without a doubt, and this brings me to his BOP private communications emails list, his visitors list, and all of that. And I'll be brief because I don't want to hold you. Yes, I believe that his case will be overturned because of several improprieties. Both cases will be overturned because of several improprieties, that legal improprieties that took place that rise to the point of prosecutorial misconduct, obstruction of justice, and other inadequacies. However, this BOP absconsion, where you had individuals working for the BOP, stealing his communications, giving it to Tasha K, that's been confirmed, her or she putting that out there on social media. And as a result of that, this is what people don't know. When my cousin spoke with you, when R. Kelly spoke with you, he talked about how the young lady came to visit him. And he was wondering, how would she know all of this? How would she know? She's quoting everything he said in his private communication while locked up. But what people don't know is that allegedly her father was right outside of the MCC. Her father was right outside waiting for her. What people don't know is part of those communications were money that he told his other girlfriend to hide behind the sofa. When she saw the communications, according to Tasha K, and according to everything that I've read and observed, allegedly, the father used those communications and gave them to the daughter and said, not only is he not planning on, this allegedly, not only is he not planning on leaving the other one, he's hiding money from you. Do you know that the father corresponded with her, sent back, told her where the money was. She took the money, jumped in the car with the father, and bounced. That's facts. It was a robbery. It was a heist. It was someone who says, get the bag. We came here for the bag. If you're going to leave this nigga, let me know when you find the money. I'll be outside waiting. He waited, drove to where my cousin Rob was. She went up, cussed him out, told him what was what, and left. All of a sudden, this same person now decides to testify against him as a star witness. All this was due to the theft and the illegal exposure of his personal BOP records, bro. So when you ask me, are the cases going to be overturned? I believe so. I believe that this is a country of laws, not a country of men. I believe that when you prosecute someone in America, that prosecution should not be predicated on a goddamn reality show. And then once you get that person behind bars, you know that person has no criminal record, never committed a crime on record, and you deny that person bond and hold that American citizen without bail, without bond. Then, while he's being held, kidnapped, without bond, without bail, you then allow someone who is charged with the responsibility of making sure that his emails and private communications are private. They steal them, give them to a blogger who is in close contact with one of the alleged victims or someone that they want to testify against him. And then, from what I was told, allegedly, the father had his own person working at the BOP, alleged. Meaning the father, listen, man, it was everything that was done was so illegal, it's unbelievable. But there is something called legal recourse. So to answer your question, without a doubt, I believe that these cases are going to be overturned. I believe that they won't even retry him. And if they choose to retry him, they'll offer him a plea of time served. I believe that. I believe that.
Let me ask you this. The last time you spoke with Robert, how was he doing?
I spoke with him today. His spirits were high.
Okay.
I told him I was coming on your show. We had a long conversation, a 15-minute conversation, and his spirits are very high because he can now see the light at the end of the tunnel. I could tell just his spirit where he can see the light at the end of the tunnel, because from day one, he's always believed in justice. He's always believed that he would receive a fair shake. But he sat there for 3 years plus, not knowing what was being done to him. He has a very, very, very illustrious, excellent attorney, Ms. Jennifer Bonjean. And she knows the law, all of the things that have been done. Trust me, she's going to take every legal step to make sure that the Justice Department release R. Kelly. And he's going to be released. And once he's released, and he has time to recoup, well, I speak positivity into the universe. Once he and he and I, we've discussed this, several calls. I always tease him. And I say, man, when you get out, you're going to do a versus battle.
Oh, man.
R. Kelly versus everybody.
Oh, he going to shut down the internet. He going to shut down the internet.
So, yes, he will be home. Trust me. Because the law is the law, brother. You can't break the law to convict the person in America.
And the more and more we dig into things and expose things, it's going to make other people dig into things and expose things. And listen, one day at a time.
Yes, sir. And I thank you for being so brave, Brother Storm. For being so brave that you would allow him to come on and you allow me to come on and you allow this truth to be spoken. Because one thing I know for a fact is the truth and only the truth can set R. Kelly free. One thing I know for a fact is that he is not buried when he talks about being buried alive in a casket. He is not buried up under laws. He is buried up under lies. So remember, as I continue this Biden Pardon R. Kelly campaign, and any other president of Biden loses next go around, I'm going to continue to push that. But while I'm pushing that, I'm going to continue to challenge Lifetime to release the unedited, full interviews of everyone they interviewed. And if they were to do that, it would be a 1,000,000-man march of citizens down there at the damn jails, at the prison, saying you got to let R. Kelly go, because all of those people told outright lies. Now, when I say lies, I mean inconsistencies, lies. And what's so crazy about it, people? Let me say this before we go, brother. These people made millions of dollars. Let me be more clear. These white folks made hundreds of millions of dollars off of that docuseries worldwide. Guess how much they paid the participants?
How much? I want to know this.
$5,000. Some got a little more that had licensable stuff like pictures. But all they got was $5,000. If you notice, his ex-wife was not a part of the second one because she pulled out because she saw that they were using them, allegedly. She said that when a gun threat was called in, that the executives at Lifetime and all those white folks got up and left them there to die. They didn't
Damn.
So when she saw that they were being used and they were being used, she said, I'm not going to be a part of the second. You understand? But just remember that, people, all them people got for sitting there telling them lies on R. Kelly was $5,000. And these people that made hundreds and millions of dollars off of a docuseries that was nothing but a reality show, brother. And I thank you so much, Brother Storm.
Absolutely.
For allowing this light to shine through your channel. You are a special brother, because when you look, a lot of people who are attempting to climb this ladder of success, they're afraid. They're afraid to speak. So my cousin said you'll hear from him very, very, very soon.
Absolutely, absolutely. And thank you for coming on, and thank you for coming with the facts and the laws and taking the time to even do that. And before we go, let the people know where they can follow you and find you.
Simple. I don't have my Instagram and all that set up yet, but you can just come to YouTube and punch in Levi for Kelly, and you will see my channel, which is dedicated to Robert Kelly, a man that I love, a man that I know to be innocent. So it's simple. YouTube, Levi for Kelly. Check me out, and I'm going to continue to explore and to reveal more and more information on my channel. And I'm quite sure Storm, when my cousin comes on here, he's going to bring you guys up to speed. But this is the key. We must, what we talked about today, when you're at the water cooler, when you're at your job, when you're talking to people who say R. Kelly's guilty, you have to know the facts. You have to know the truth. So you can say to them, well, he may be guilty, but I did not know this. I did not know that one of the parents was text messaging him. I didn't know they stole his communication, you know?
Yeah.
So thank you, brother.
It's a storm show. Ay, it's a storm show.